always, it's the one and only Sweet Pea, and today we have a classic for you from Bragman's, which is a delicatessen here in Newark, New Jersey. They've been around for years and years and years and years and years, even before I was born. Got a little bit of Dasani here with some Propel inside because I'm hot and I'm as thirsty. Whew. And I needed a little bit of flavor. At any rate, if you are new to this channel, please like this video, subscribe, share, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about. Before we get into today's story, which is going to be a true crime, I have to bite into the pickle. This is napkin, sweet as hell. Got rye, Russian dressing and coleslaw, and some cheese, and some hot pastrami. Well, it was hot when I got it. It ain't hot no more, but oh well. Still good. They coleslaw banger. And I put on top of them. If you're from Newark, New Jersey, you got family here, you plan on visiting, you need to go and get you a Bragman sandwich. Located on Hawthorne Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. That all is meat. My ears keep popping. I know, it's feeling like crap. If y'all hear something in the background, my air conditioner, because it's hot to death. Got me a little chocolate chip cookie here. It's soft to death. Eat that. And then, I love pastrami. If in fact you hear any scratching, growling, attitude of any kind on the other side of my door, because right now I'm in my bedroom, as you can see, it's Kobe. Y'all seen him in the other video. He like pastrami too. He like everything, because he's greedy as hell. But anyway, getting into today's story, we're going to be talking about Luis Garavito. And if you know anything about serial killers, then you should know something about Luis Garavito. His crimes were so heinous, and he's such a douche and a sick, twisted bastard, that they dubbed him La Bestia in Colombia. This is actually cheap. They also call him Goofy. I can't really pronounce it in Spanish. and the monster of Genovia. Well, Genova. He was born in Genova. Fucking fat. He was born in Genova, Colombia. And I really always say that is the reason why, you know, people turn out to be serial killers and stuff like that. And that may well enough be true. But even still, there are people that grew up like him that are, you know, or have even worse situations, and they don't go around doing the shit that he did. So, I'm tell you right now, if you're squeamish about hearing about rape, anything about children, or anything like that, then just give me a thumbs up, leave in the comments you tried, and you'll see me in the next video, because that's basically what this is about. So, with that being said, Luis Garavito was convicted of raping, torturing, killing, and sometimes mutilating the bodies of, which I mean by mutilate is behead, young boys of Colombia between the ages, some say 6 or 8, but between the ages of 6 years old and 16 years old. He used to get drunk, like the coward that he is, to prey on little boys, pretend to be a fucking priest, or like a school teacher, like some sort of street vendor, because you know they sell stuff out on the streets, like food and newspapers and stuff like that, just like here. Like an asshole sometimes tried to play off like a vagrant or whatever, and he would take these kids with him, the ones that, you know, wanted to go with him. He would offer them candy, food, a job, because a lot of these young kids were very poor. There's a long-standing civil war that was going on. I don't know if it's still going on, but it was going on in Colombia at the time. And this ass was preying on the poor. Some of them were orphaned. They didn't have families. Others grew up just like he did. And it's even more sick and twisted the way that he did it, is because they said when they started finding the bodies, he left puncture wounds like on their buttocks. Like I said, some of them he beheaded. Others he freaking he tied them up. It was just it was just a mess. Like, I don't have any children, but I can't imagine anybody doing anything like that to my godchildren or my nieces or my nephews. Like, I would want to murder them. He got drunk, he would bind them. They found lube. He would puncture their anuses with different objects. It would be stab wounds all over their bodies, ligature marks all over their bodies, or like around their necks. And in his confession, he said that he would rape them and torture them for long periods of time. Keep in mind of the ages that I said that these young boys were. Who in their right fucking mind, being somebody that went through this themselves, would do this to somebody else? And I know they say hurt people, but yeah, that means if you say something to me, I'm gonna come right back at you you know, with something snappy, I'm gonna gut punch you that way. I'm not gonna fucking kill you. Anyway, to understand why I'm so angry about this, or indifferent, or whatever it is that you want to, you know, call it. I mean, first, before I tell you his background, if this was a family member of yours, whether it's your child, your niece, your nephew, cousin, brother, whatever, what would you want to happen to the person that did this? I want you to leave it in the comments, because when I tell you the type of time that he got, you know, the laws out there in Colombia, you gonna be like, bitch, what? Anyway, so he grew up, his mother was a prostitute, and his father was basically a piece of shit, just like him. He grew up basically to be his father. Got him. His father molested him and his siblings. His father forced his mother's patrons, if you will, tricks, johns, whatever you want to call them, to molest them as well. He was forced to watch his mother in these sexually deviant acts, and she was so drugged up and so abused because the father was whooping her ass and beating on them as well, that she didn't do anything about it. So he said one day, I guess it was like enough is enough, and he ran away from home, I believe at the age of 8, and he got into a mix with a pedophile. And another thing, just like how he does, this guy offered him candy and food and a warm bed to stay in, and he went with the guy. The guy raped him repeatedly, and he, you know, he didn't get that hot food, he didn't get no candy, and he didn't get nowhere to sleep, because where he raped and tortured him at was in an abandoned building. So it's like, you know how this felt as a child to go through something so traumatic like that, and instead of you trying to make a difference and try to prevent this from this happening to other children, you do the same damn thing. And you can't really say, oh well, maybe he should have had counseling. It's in the police records that he had counseling for 5 years prior to anything. Oh, and I forgot to give you a timeline. This all started happening in 1992. So from 1992 to 1999, which is 7 years, he killed, well, he was convicted of killing 138 young boys. He confessed to over 300. He was charged for 172 and only got convicted of 138. And they say that it's probably even more than 300 because they're still unearthing bodies. And they're still unearthing bodies, and they have a lot of missing children cases that are unsolved. So nobody really knows how many young kids he was killing. And they said when they started, when they found the initial bodies, which were like, I believe 2, laying next to each other up on a hill, and then they found another body. They found liquor bottles, anal lube. They found what else was it? He left his drawers. The boys were still tied up. Like, it was just really, really sick. Like, you're raping these little boys, killing them, torturing them, killing them, and just, you know, burying them. Like, shit was cool. So, the only reason why he got caught, because apparently, just like anywhere else, if you don't have money, you can't cause a ruckus, and ain't nobody checking for you. So if you go missing, and your parents broke, or your family broke, or you ain't got no family, like how most of these boys did, because they were orphaned, and stuff, Colombia was basically like, it fucking sucks to be you, because we ain't looking for you. So, all these years going by, and this guy is offering all of these innocent young kids that were trying to make a living for themselves and for their family. And the crazy part about it is he had a girlfriend. His girlfriend had a child. He never touched her child. Probably because she was a girl. But I believe she was a girl. But at any rate, all his friends said he was nice and kind. He just got real volatile when he was angry. So it's like, when you were targeting these young little boys, or these young men, were you angry? Like, was your alcohol fueling you so damn much that you had to take it out on them? Like, you couldn't find your father and just go kill him and be done with it? Because essentially, like, let's face facts. That's what this is. Ted Bundy was trying to murder the love of his life over and over and over again. That's why all his damn victims look the same. Because they always have, serial killers always have a motive. And they usually always have a set target. And if you don't know what a serial killer is a person, by statistics, is usually a man that kills 3 or more people over a period of time. Now, this could mean over 6 months, over 12 months, years, weeks, and they always have like a cool down period in between. So like how BTK, he was killing people for all these years and he stopped for some years, then he resurfaced again. Like, that's basically what a serial killer is. Just in case you didn't know. So they actually found him. I'm full. I'm gonna eat this cookie though. I don't eat that much. I'm trying to lose some of these LBs. If y'all got some tips, leave it in the comments. Don't be rude, because I will block you and I will come for you. Anyway, this cookie is a bomb. And no, it's not from McDonald's. I just put it in the McDonald's bag because I'm frugal like that. Ugh, I wish it was hot, because then it would have been so good. Anyway, like, damn, I'm not all my water. So, cookie, alright. McDonald's is better. So anyway, they found him because what had happened was he was on the hunt trying to rape another child. A pedestrian, another vagrant, saw him and reported it to the police, and he was locked up in another city in Colombia. Mind you, he was killing children over about, I want to say, 50 cities in the country of Colombia. So, oh shit, what the hell? What happened when you go? That's some bullshit. Anyway, So he was in another jail in another city, and when the police got wind of this from the town where they found the boys, they went there and they questioned him about it. Of course, he denied. They went to his girlfriend's house and talked to her. And that's when they found out she had a child, and he never did anything to the child. Thank God. She said she hadn't seen him in months, but he left some stuff there. Now, all this time, he been getting away with murder and rape. This asshole, not only did he leave evidence as like clothes and DNA around the body and on the bodies, he also made a fucking list of I do not like semi-sweet chocolate chip. I don't know who made this cookie. It's soft, but I ain't gross. Damn, I wish I had some more water. Oh, hey, Stephanie Sugar. Anyway. He had a list of all the boys he killed and what he did to them. Not by name, I guess by age and maybe whatever character he was playing at the time. With fucking sick and twisted. But he had a list. And so he also left glasses at one of the crime scenes. And the police, in order to try to, you know, double check and triple check to make sure he was the actual killer, they ordered all the prisoners to have to take an eye exam. Now for him, he had a specific eye condition that only rendered for men within his age bracket. What it was exactly, nobody really said, but they didn't want him to be able to lie about his vision because he didn't have on his glasses. Remember, I said he left them at one of the crime scenes. Fucking idiot. So anyway, they found that he had that condition. And then when he left out of his cell in order to get the eye exam done, they took DNA from his toilet, they took it from his pillow and his sheets, and everything it was that he was using that you can get DNA from out of a jail cell. And it came back to matches to every single last body that they found. So he went to trial. He confessed, and then he wanted to cry and, you know, beg for forgiveness. It was like, where was all this remorse when you kept stalking and preying on young children and teenage boys for 7 freaking years? And God only knows how much longer he was doing that. So, like, they just know that it's maybe started in 92 because that's when bodies started disappearing. But that's when they noticed that bodies were disappearing. But like I said, you ain't got that coin, well, pesos, I don't know what kind of money it is, currency that they have over there, but if you don't have that money, ain't nobody checking for you. And that's here in the United States too. You have to really be on these people, and if you're somebody that's, you know, out in the street, or, you know, a vagrant, you know, nobody really cares, and it's sad. I mean, they have different organizations and stuff like that out there, like they do here, and, you know, certain other countries and things like that, for people of a lower income, but those come, you know, a dime a dozen. When you have people that are supposed to be elected officials and police officers and things like that, you expect them to care. But in this case, you know, it was just like, another little poor boy missing again. Okay, he probably ran away. Okay, he's probably in a gang. Okay. Like, you know, he'll come back. Like, they just didn't give a shit. So he confessed, and oh, you know, I want to be forgiven, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. So he was convicted like I said, of the 138 killing of boys ranging in the age from 6 to 16 for raping, torturing, killing, and mutilating their bodies, and sometimes beheading. He was sentenced to 1,853 years and 9 days in prison. He got what he deserved, partially, you say, because he probably should have gotten a death penalty, maybe. Leave in the comments below if you believe in the death penalty. If you believe in the death penalty, let me know whether or not you believe that he should have gotten life in prison, or the death penalty. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. So he got 1,853 years and 9 days in prison. But unfortunately, Colombia does not have the death penalty. In Colombia, you cannot spend your natural life in prison. And because he cooperated and confessed and showed where the bodies were, they knocked off a whole chunk of change from off of his sentencing. So in Colombia, you can only serve a maximum of 40 years. So with that maximum of 40 years, minus whatever, time they wanted to give him for cooperating and showing the police where the rest of the bodies and everything like that were, they knocked it off even further to 22 years in prison. But there's also a catch-22 in that, where they say it's a possibility that he may spend up to 80 years in prison, because if they have a clause in their law that says if you commit any crimes against a child, that you don't get any, what is it called? It's justice. Oh, damn. It's in my head. Don't you hate that when it's like something on the tip of your tongue or right on the tip of your brain, and it's like you want to say it, you know what it is, but you don't know what it is, and now it's not coming out? That makes sense? Because that's what's happening to me right now. And it's getting on my nerves. I'm getting really triggered because I know, like, damn, what is it called? Justice benefits. They don't allow you to get any justice benefits for that. So of course he's in solitary confinement, whatever. A lot of people are trying to murder him as we speak. Even if he got out in 22 years, which they say he's eligible for parole in 2021, he's not gonna last, because, nigga, I know who you are. I know what you did. This is possibly my son, my nephew, my grandchild. I'm gonna get you. It's as simple as that. So if the prison inmates or guards don't get him, somebody on the street is gonna get him, because these people want justice, and to them justice is not 80 years, it's not 40 years, it's not 22 years, it's not 1,000 years. They want him dead. That's just how it is, an eye for an eye. I mean, like I said, if this was your situation, your child, your niece, your nephew, your nephew, your brother, your cousin, how would you feel about the situation? Would you want this person to suffer in prison, or would you want them, on the death penalty? Which, even if it was the United States, certain states don't have the death penalty, but if he's in a state that does, then it's like you're gonna be on death row for like forever any fucking way. So it's like, you decide. You be the judge in this one, and you let me know how you feel about this situation or whatever. Do you justify him for doing what he did because of what happened to him? Are you empathetic with him because of what happened to him, and him turning around and doing the same thing to other children? Or you're just like, nah, fuck him, this some bullshit, he need to die. Like, I don't feel anybody that commit crimes against elderly or children, especially when it comes to rape and murder and like mugging and robbing them, like that's where you like draw the line. Like, first of all, you shouldn't be committing violent crimes against anybody, period. I'm I don't like to say victim, I don't want to say survivor either, but I was a part of a violent crime once, and it took its toll on me. And would I turn around and do what that person did to me to somebody else? Hell no, because I know how it feels. Yes, different people have different ways of coping with things, but as a human being, you know right from wrong. You know what, you know, you would want to happen to you. You know what you wouldn't want to happen to you. And sometimes people just don't really give a fuck. But yeah, you be the judge, you decide, and you let me know how you feel. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be a little slimmer, a little tighter, and be doing this damn thing. And hopefully I can eat a little bit more. I haven't eaten all day. I only ate half of this damn sandwich, but it was delicious. So like I said, next time you come to New Jersey, come to Newark, go to Hawthorne Avenue, check out Bragman's, and get you a damn sandwich. Period. I'll catch y'all in the next one.